you call them with your Canadian number, and the team will show your local number. So my parents will ask me, are you in Nigeria? I would say, no, I'm not in Nigeria. I'm calling from Canada.
Gabriel, why don't you tell me what was something that you were most worried about?
I think one of our biggest worry, which is also my biggest worry, is accommodation. Where am I going to stay? Who are my neighbors? Are they receptive? Are they nice people? Are they good people? That was my very, very crucial, that was the thing that bothers me, that I'm thinking about. And when I came to Canada, I first of all moved to the International Hostel on 82nd Avenue, and my perception about reception changed, because I have roommates in that very international hostel, and they were very helpful. So most times, once I leave campus, I come back home, they were so, Gabriel, have you done this? Have you done that? So it was really like a process of integration.
Yeah, that's a great response. And, for me, it was, I'm not going to lie, the weather, because a lot of people were just, scaring me like, oh, it's going to be minus 40, even your headphones will freeze and all of that. So that was something I was like, oh, okay. I was here in August, so I was really worried how the next few months were going to look like for me in terms of weather. But yeah, getting a good pair of jacket, down parka, that really helped me get through that. And another thing that I was, when I look back, worried was about the legal issues, right? So as an international student, like how many hours can I work, right? And how do I fill these tax forms? And how do I, file all of these? And because this is not something that we do in Nepal, so the whole process was a bit overwhelming for me. But again, there was help available, there were resources available. So the weather and what I can do and I cannot do in terms of legally and all of that was kind of my two biggest worries.
Aonan, what was your first Edmonton food experience? What did you eat? And have you found any food reminding you of home? And where did you find that?
The first food, I can't remember what food exactly that I ate when I first came to Edmonton. But definitely the first kind of food that is just rooted in my mind since I came to Edmonton is Tim Hortons. Because I was living on a campus my first year in Schaefer Hall at the Lister Center on campus. So there was a Tim Hortons store just downstairs on the first floor. So every time before I came to class, I would just grab a cup of coffee and then just go. And you have to order double. So that's a very, I don't know if it's a Canadian thing or Edmontonian thing, but you just have to do it. Because in that way you're cool, you look cool. So I did it. I ordered double every time, and then, I would just grab either a muffin or a croissant, which is my favorite right now. And I would just went to my class. So that was my first impression of Edmonton food. And then after weeks actually of having that kind of breakfast and sometimes lunch as well, my stomach all of a sudden just started to, telling me, what? It's, something is not going well now. And then all of a sudden I asked myself, what is happening? And then I was like, oh, probably I just missed my hometown food, which is very, very spicy food. Yeah. As soon as I realized that, I attended to ask people and ask for help, right? And then I was lucky enough to have met a lot of Chinese students who are living on campus and who are studying at the University of Alberta, who told me, what, there's a TNT supermarket where you can go and grab, Chinese food, Indian food, and Malaysian food, all kinds of Asian stuff. So that was a very good opportunity for me to realize that, wow, in Canada, there are a lot of Asian options in terms of food that, can really comfort my stomach, who's desiring for some spicy food.
That is actually something that I can relate totally to, actually. So personally, first day in Edmonton, first meal, I still remember that day. It's because orientation, we had to move in, and with everything, I had single of my luggage is rolling into Tim's just across from Lister Center. So there was an A&W and a Tim's there. Yeah. So first meal was grab something there, let's just try to fill us up before I go in the long line. And then I just went in line, like grabbed like a burger and then came into line. First thing, when we get all my luggage in my room, my RA, so my resident assistant, was like, okay, so everyone settle in right now. It's about dinner time. Let's just all grab something. I had just eaten something. I was like, do I really want to go eat? But you know, just to meet everyone, that's like something that I really wanted to do. Went down, we were in the cafeteria, and the option back then was you could eat as much as you wanted. So I just went, buffet option. I was like, what am I going to pick? So I literally can't remember what was on my plate, but I went through all the 13 stations and just pick, and then came back. And then that was my first meal, let's say in Edmonton. Gabriel, how about yourself? What was that first food experience in Edmonton for you?
Yeah, I think my experience was a bit great because initially when I was coming in, I have my own food already packed in my bag, which I'm sure it's going to last me for like a week or 2 weeks, so already prepared. And I ran out of my own food, so I went to Ubmall, and when I go to Ubmall, I saw a lot of different stores, selling food. I said, okay, I don't trust any of them. So I saw a very long queue on Edo, Japan. And I saw, since the queue is long, definitely the food is going to be great. So I just went there and I said, okay, can you give me I just looked at the list and I saw chicken teriyaki. And I said, okay, can you give me chicken teriyaki with shrimps? So they gave it to me and I tried. I put it in my mouth. Coming from a society that eats spicy food and there was no spice on it. And I said, oh no, this is not my own choice. So someone asked them to give you hot sauce. So I asked for the hot sauce. They gave me the hot sauce. So I pour it on it, and it gave me the spicy taste I need. And since then, I appreciate Edo. I always go there to eat anytime, any day.
So, Gabriel, what do you use to stay connected with your family and friends back home? And how easy or difficult was it to stay connected with your family?
When I came in Europe, that was in 2016. Our phones were not compatible, so we need to get a new line. So for 3 days, I was not in touch with my family. They were a bit worried, what is going on, if everything is fine with me or. So I went to the business building. So they were doing like a phone plan for new students who just came to campus. So I went there and I got a SIM card for Bell. So when I get connected, I was able to call my mom. I called my brothers. I called everybody and let them know, okay, I'm doing good. I'm fine. So the longer I stay in Canada, I discovered that they have an app where you can just get the app and you can make a call at a very cheaper rate. So I was using the app to get in touch with them directly. But most times the app mess up things. You call them with your Canadian number and the thing will show your local number. So my parents would ask me, are you in Nigeria? I would say, no, I'm not in Nigeria. I'm calling from Canada. But also, what Nigeria number is showing? I said, I don't know what's wrong with the app. I'm currently in Canada, I'm not in Nigeria. So I think that was really, really a difficult thing for me. But I think so far so good. My communication with my parents, family, and friends have been through WhatsApp and also Facebook.
Good story. I mean, I share the feeling with you that, when you first came to Canada, like a different country, and, for like 1 day or two, when your parents just cannot connect with you because you don't have a phone number, that kind of thing. But later I found that it was actually much easier than I thought because, whenever you have, as long as you have Wi-Fi, I can just use like WeChat. That's like what a lot of Chinese people use to connect with people. So that app is something that I use to always connect with my family, my friends back home. So yeah, same question, Warren. What's your story? How do you stay connected with your family and friends back home?
Yeah, no, I actually echo so much of what Gabriel and yourself said in terms of feeling like the need to call home. One thing that I did before coming here was, okay, I'll create a group chat for all four of us, so for my mom, for my dad, and for my sister, and made sure that we would stay connected as long as I had a Wi-Fi connection. So every Friday at a certain time when it's like in the morning there, and for me it's like evening here, just because of the time difference, obviously. I would call them and just tell them, I had a great week or I had whatever in class. So this is how really I was able to connect with my family. So that was for WhatsApp, for Snapchat, and there was just so many other social media platforms that I would usually connect through. Quite often it would just be like that and it's still going that way.